Hi everyone, my name is Alexander Scala, and today I will be presenting my TED Talk From Gut to Global Using Microbiology to Prevent Bioterrorism. The question we will discuss and further elucidate is how does microbiome research intersect with national security policy? Specifically, this presentation is intended for scientific policymakers, legislators, and those analyzing how does biotech, microbiology, and policy all coexist. I'm going to use this term a lot throughout the presentation, bioterrorism, and I first would like to define it. Bioterrorism is defined as using intentionally biological agents, including viruses and bacteria, to cause illness, death in humans, animals, plants. Such weapons may be designed by certain government organizations of different countries for biological warfare or used by criminal or terrorist organizations. The bottom line of this presentation is effective national bioterrorism security policy requires a three-pronged technique. First, understanding the vulnerabilities of the microbiome, active government engagement in initiatives, and the ability to anticipate, predict future biological threats. Until recently, the US government believed that invincible equals harmless, but this is not the case in the case of cybersecurity as well as bioterrorism. One of the most relevant events in modern history for bioterrorism was the 2001 anthrax attacks, in which 22 individuals were sent anthrax-laced letters and consequently 5 died due to anthrax infections. The bacteria involved in anthrax, the causative agent would be Bacillus anthracis, and this was a key moment in the government history showing that warfare is not just with guns and people. It can be engaged with biologically, and how do you stop this? I mean, this was a very important point in history because it showed the US government that they were wildly underprepared for biological warfare. There weren't any preventative measures, monitoring systems, and there have been instances of anthrax infections, especially in 1976 when someone died from this. Yet the US was not adequately prepared for 2001. It caused a ton of economic consequences, including billions of dollars decontaminating post offices, and few doctors had experience treating anthrax before. So this just goes to show you that how can we adequately prepare for biological attacks and the changes from a pre-2001 to after the fact. As mentioned, we need to understand the microbiome vulnerabilities, especially with our course, the microbiome. We understand that shifts in microbiome have significant physical and psychological effects on the person. So anybody who has malintentions will use this information to their advantage, including targeting microbiome disruption, using the disadvantages of microbiome dysbiosis, and causing those imbalances within the gut. Also using the sensitive scientific data we get from genomic studies and using precision taxon there. If food supply is damaged, that's another instance of how the microbiome can be negatively affected, like a C. diff outbreak. These are all ways that our gut can be taken advantage of by different organizations through biological terrorism. The key policies in recent history include the BioWatch program, which is a U.S. Department of Homeland Security initiative, in which it monitors the air quality in major major cities in order to detect any harmful pathogens. This may include viruses and bacteria. So this is a more general public safety measure in order to prevent and monitor and slowly stop bioterrorism events. Secondly, the Congress initiated the National Security Commission for Emerging Biotechnology. This is going towards how can we equip troops better for biological warfare, how can we prevent better, and how can we use biotechnology to optimize the American lifestyle. After 2001, there was the bioterrorism attack, which aimed to fully equip the country better in order to prevent similar anthrax attacks and potential bioterrorism attacks on the American public. Lastly, the Department of Defense has the Chemical and Biological Defense Program, which specifically protects soldiers from biological warfare. Ultimately, we need to invest economically in all the following organizations in order to better equip the American public as well as their food supply and soldiers.